Hey guys, Dev here. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Lovely to see so many new viewers recently. It's pretty awesome getting featured on Asmongold's stream. So saw so many new views from that. So Asmongold, if you ever watch this, thank you. Today, guys, I got something really awesome for you. I've actually got the patch notes for WoW Classic Plus, and I'm so excited to share these with you. So let's jump straight into it. If you do enjoy this video or you find it really fun, at any point, feel free to hit that subscription, guys. I know a lot of WoW Classic content creators have dropped the game. I don't intend to do that anytime soon. So super excited to keep creating content for you guys, and let's go. Okay, so this is the screenshot that I got sent. So patch notes, let's go. Starts off with customer support. The amount of game masters actively working to provide customer service has been increased by 500%. That is huge, guys. I know a lot of you guys had complaints that there might have not been enough GMs available to answer tickets. Blizzard weren't supporting the game properly, so that is huge news. 4 new GMs are now available to answer in-game tickets from 9 AM to 5 PM. 4. They said that customer service has been increased by 500%. Does that mean there was only ever one GM? Were the memes correct? Fuck me. Better bot detection. We are testing a new form of manual bot detection to be implemented in Classic Fresh Plus. Okay, that is really good news. The botting situation in Classic, for anyone that hasn't played, is really rampant. Bots basically have just run of the world. They very rarely get banned. They sit in dungeons. They fuck the economy. They make it really hard for players that want to farm resources basically in any place. Also devalues the work that like real humans do. If they're putting in farming to earn gold, a lot of resources are priced a long way below where they should be. Okay, but they've got developers note here. We understand player frustration with the current botting situation. Very true. Due to the increase in new hires for the GM team, the intern has been granted access to in-game GM tools and being reassigned from answering player tickets to finding and banning bots. Oh, fucking hell. All right, well, look, hey, that's something. I'll take it. That's a win. Hopefully the intern can do more than what they're doing now. Looks like Classic Plus is going to be a good success if they keep going down this route. Gold buying and selling prevention. Fixed an issue preventing the purchase of gold, RMT, from being detectable by our automated systems. Oh, fucking hit. A confirmation dialogue has been added to the mailbox prompting players, are they sure they wish to accept large amounts of gold sent from mail from another player? Okay, yeah, because people used to use that to try and get people banned, so I guess that's why they had to turn off the banning of people that were buying gold. Developers notes, previously it was possible to purchase gold for another player in an attempt to get them banned via automated systems. Yep, like I said. This resulted in the removal of any bans for RMT. After a long multiple-day brainstorming session, we realized we can copy-paste the code from the trade confirmation window to protect players against this practice. Okay, that's huge, guys. Like, they're going to start banning people for buying gold. That is excellent. Bans are now reintroduced for buying gold. Bans will be permanent. That is so good to see. Okay, next section, experience. Characters will now receive an experience penalty of 90% when in group with another player 8 levels or more higher. Okay, so this is obviously addressing the boosting situation and like players not even needing to play the game to level. Raids no longer provide any experience points. Yep, cool, that sorts out the ZG boost. Rested experience now accrues 100% faster when logged out in an inn or capital city. Okay, that's good. It helps the casuals out a bit. Rested experience will now grant an additional 50% bonus experience. Again, that's going to help the casuals with their leveling. Quests now reward 50% increased experience, and monsters now reward 25% increased experience. So I guess that's just to speed up the leveling, since a lot of us have already gone through it before. All right, next section, we've got a new raid. Can you not see it, brothers and sisters? There is but one way to wipe the scourge from the face of Azeroth. The Scarlet Crusade offers you the protection that you so desperately desire. And if you will pledge yourselves to us, surely we will reach our ultimate goal, defy us, and you will be dispatched in a blaze of golden light unlike any you have ever witnessed. So Scarlet Bastion is a new raid available with the launch of WoW Classic Plus. Hype, boys. New content? That is huge news. I am so excited to get a new raid. One of the hardest things about being a WoW Classic content creator is a lot of the content is already solved. So a lot of the times you're just delivering information that's already available on the internet. So to have a whole new raid to theorycraft to work out new strategies, that's super exciting for me at least. And I know a lot of people have wanted like new content if they're going to do Classic Plus. Players will need to complete a lengthy attunement quest designed to test the most battle-hardened guilds. That's really cool. So it sounds like we're possibly going to see like a Gates of AQ type opening. Scarlet Bastion is a brand new 10-boss Scarlet Crusade themed raid located inside Stratholme. Man, I know a lot of people have been saying that they want a Scarlet Crusade raid, so I think this is a really cool place to start off. I know retail's got a lot of cosmology themed stuff going on, so to just bring it back to the basics, I think is an excellent play. Players will fight members of the Crimson Legion and undead bosses to discover the true motivation of the Scarlet Crusade. Yep, cool. So a nice bit of variation though. It's not just going to be Scarlet Crusade. We're also going to get to fight some Scourge, some undead by the looks of it. The Blizzard Q&A team has completed raid testing in-house. This raid will not be available in the PTR. That is big, guys. I know Final Fantasy does all their raid testing in-house, from what I understand at least. So to not have players be able to figure things out on the PTR and to see the bosses for the first time in the actual game, I think is gonna do wonders. Not only that, but it's gonna increase the viewership on things like Twitch. It's gonna bring a lot more excitement to the game. You know, a lot of people are gonna be checking it out, and that in turn like kind of snowballs, and then more people want to pick the game up. All new loot tables include 100 plus new items. Okay, that is massive. I'm very excited to get some new items. Hopefully they can address some of the balancing issues with some specs with those new items. Rebalance dungeons and raids. So existing raid and dungeon bosses and monsters have their health values increased by at least 100%. Existing raid and dungeon bosses and monsters have their damage output increased by at least 100%. Most dungeon bosses have learnt new abilities. Okay, that's super cool. Developers note, staying connected to the game and not logging out was the main difficulty of the game in 2004. Okay, it's kind of funny, but true. The modern player base needs modern mechanics. We've tuned, buffed, and added new abilities to all bosses across the board. Okay, that's really exciting to read. Class balance. All specs have been rebalanced to be viable in all content. Okay, that is exciting. As a Prop Paladin main in Classic, playing a class that was barely fit to do the role it was designed for. You know, it was never designed to be a raid tank, I don't think, and we managed to get some bosses down. So new and exciting abilities added to most classes that fit within the theme of WoW Classic, within the theme of WoW Classic design. Developers notes. In Classic WoW, bringing a Ret Paladin, Balance Druid, or Prop Paladin to raid was hamstringing your raid's performance. True. Our data shows that 0 guilds managed to clear Nax with any meme specs in their raid. Okay, that's just toxic, Blizzard. This truly highlighted the importance of rebalancing these specs. They are now playable, but we are keeping them slightly undertuned to maintain the classic feeling of those specs. I'm actually okay with that. Retribution Paladin players will now have to press more than one key every 30 seconds. We believe this will make the game more engaging and allow for less self-pleasure during raids. Okay, Ret Paladins, we all know why you picked the spec. Might be time to re-roll if that's the case, but there you go. Debuff limit. Debuff limits on monsters and bosses have been removed. Due to the debuff limit in Classic WoW, many specs were forced into using one spell for thousands of hours. Some players complained of developing RSIs. We've combated this modest change with the way many specializations play and removed debuff limits, allowing classes to use all their abilities, i.e. Warlocks can safely use their damage over time spells. Hey, that's really interesting. I leveled a Warlock in Classic WoW, and the leveling experience is actually super fun. Like all the dots, the kiting, the fearing, and then you get to max level, you go raid, and all you do is push Shadow Bolt. So I think that's really interesting. And if we do have new abilities coming into the specs, which make them play a little bit more interestingly or a little bit different, that's a super cool change. So got some class changes here. So mages, Blizzard effectiveness has been decreased by 80%. Blizzard scaling has been increased. Damage is now increased by 25% of spell power. And area effect spells now hit a maximum of 10 enemy targets. Okay, cool. I think that really rebalances mages in an AoE situation. And it makes their gear a bit more impactful for their Blizzard DPS. Paladins. Consecrate now scales with 32.33%, repeating of course, of a Paladin's spell power per tick. That's really good. So one of the main issues with Paladins is they had very little scaling in Classic. Judging Seal of Justice to an enemy will now cause a taunt effect. Excellent, cool. So they've added a taunt mechanic to Paladins. A little bit janky, which I'm okay with, but it gives them a way to taunt if they need it. Area of effect spells now hit a maximum of 10 enemy targets. That is also okay, although it might have some implications in raid tanking. A number of Librams have been added to endgame content. Okay, cool. So we're getting some new Librams. One of the major issues with the Libram system is they just didn't really exist. So that's all I've got, guys. I hope by now you've realized that these are not real patch notes. This is just a joke, but the main point of this is to get some conversation rolling into what kind of things you guys would like in a Classic Plus type system. So drop them in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'm actually going to make up our dream version of Classic Plus based off what you guys asked for, and we're going to kind of present that to the wider community. I would love to have as much input because I know a lot of people want the game to go in different ways. So if you have something that applies for your spec or your class or your experience, drop it in a comment below, guys. We're going to gather them all up, and I'm going to make a actual, like Asmongold did, like a dream version of our patch notes that we would want to see, super in depth, cover as much stuff as possible, and we'll try to get some feedback on that. Hopefully maybe one day the devs can take a look at it and maybe take a little bit of inspiration from it. I know a lot of you guys also have zero interest in like a Classic Plus, and that's fine. You don't have to play Classic Plus. Not everybody plays old school RuneScape. The players that do play it, they're devoted to it, and they're probably going to keep playing it for a long time. I did put a fair amount of work into these guys, so you know, if you got a chuckle at any point or you did enjoy it, please feel free to hit that sub button. It means a lot to me. Channel's growing so well right now, and I'm so thankful to each and every one of you. On that same note, feel free to check out any of my other videos. If you're a Prop Paladin, I've got heaps of Prop Paladin content. I'm also streaming on Twitch 5 days a week. So link to my Twitch is in the description. Feel free to come check it out. And I can't wait to see you all soon. See you guys.